All right, let's get everybody in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, come on in. Good to see everybody. Happy Monday. It's Monday, July 10th, 2023. This is our mastermind. My name is Jim Tanner. I'm excited you're here with us. We got some great stuff to talk about, and we're going to be hearing from some leaders and getting feedback on how things are going across the US and Canada as well today. So I'm excited you're here. You do have the ability in this environment to unmute your line. So I'm just asking you to notice if you've done that, because if you're not talking, having your line unmuted is kind of a distraction. And I've got a few co-hosts that'll help with that. So don't be offended if they just go ahead and mute you to help you out. But folks, we've got a great week ahead of us. We had a great week last week. We can talk about how incredible the 4th of July week was for recruiting. We can talk about how great it was to be able to take a break. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but I've got a few announcements for you as we kick this off here today. And I want to start with talking about our business overview that's happening this evening. So that's 9:00 p.m. Eastern. I'll just take you through this real quick. On Monday nights, for those of you that are just joining us for the first time here or watching the replay of this is your first meeting you've ever seen, Monday nights, 9:00 p.m. Eastern, so make the adjustment for wherever you are. We gather together, the entire team and our guests. So sometimes that's people that you've already shown information about the business, but they haven't yet joined the business, and you want to get them a little bit more and let them meet the team, let them hear a live presentation. You can bring all those folks. Sometimes it's a spouse, it's a partner, it's a brother, it's a sister, it's someone that just doesn't quite understand what you're so excited about, and you would love for them to understand it more deeply. You invite them along. Sometimes it's your newest associates. You know, they joined the business and they're just getting their business started, and they get a chance to see a presentation done by people that know how to do this presentation and transition between different concepts. And so they're learning while they're earning, right? All of you are invited. All of your guests are invited. Everybody's welcome this evening at 9:00 p.m. Eastern. The agenda is that we start with the business overview presentation. I'll break that down for you. We're going to talk about our company, our incredible flagship products, Legal Shield and ID Shield. And we're going to talk about the opportunity as well. And then we're going to take a break. So this is a 1-hour window. It takes about 60 minutes. We're going to take a break after we do the business presentation so that people can actually sign up. So if you're there and you've got guests on with us, all you have to do is make sure they have your website address. And I'm going to tell your guests exactly what to do to get back to you, and that they're going to come to you. They're going to get your website link so they can sign up. So we take a little 5-minute break so people can do that and get signed up. And then we come back together. And in whatever time we have left, 15 minutes or so, I do a brief getting started training to help your new associates. So I want you to think about this. The people that just joined 5 minutes before, they don't have to wait anymore. They don't have to wait for anything. We're going to walk them right through what they need to know to get started. We're also going to do the same thing for your associates that got started maybe in the last few days or a week ago. They just haven't launched their business yet. I'm going to walk them through how to get through the onboarding process in our first step training, talk to them about why those videos are valuable. And of course, we're going to get them into the Fast Start class, a live class, when it's convenient for them, not too far into the future, and help them get Fast Start qualified. Help them get locked into Performance Club this month, because this is the first of the qualifying months for Jamaica. And so it all ties together, right? We're going to do that this evening, 9:00 p.m. Eastern. Be there with us. Bring your whole organization. To that, I want to make an announcement about tonight. We talked about during the mastermind a few weeks ago, maybe it was even last week, about now we're going to start bringing other presenters in to join me in doing this presentation. Well, I'm excited to say, hey, listen, it was John Fehrenbach's big idea to start collaborating together and getting people some at-bats doing the presentation. So John Fehrenbach and I are going to do this presentation together tonight. John's going to take care of the company and the Legal Shield and ID Shield products. He's going to hand it over to me to talk about the opportunity, and then to close out your guests. And of course, I'll come back and do the getting started training. John, before I go any further, I would love to hear your thoughts. We know you're going to hit a home run here this evening, and we'd love to hear from you as we kick off the mastermind today. Go ahead, sir.
Jim, thank you. I'm excited about this evening. You know, bring all your guests, bring your moms, your dads, your aunts, your uncles, bring your friends, bring your enemies. We'll tell them about the company. We'll get them all set up and teed up and ready for you to get them signed up. It'll be a wonderful evening. I just realized as I was getting ready to talk to him, I had my microphone off. Good thing I didn't say what I was thinking. Anyways, no, I am. I'm thrilled. I'm excited. I think it's going to be a fantastic evening. So please do not be afraid. Bring your new folks or your folks that are considering it, and we'll get them taken care of. Jim?
John, thank you very much. And so in alignment with that, I want to talk about something new that we have. So, as we've launched, really coming out of convention, right? And I'll just go back in time for the benefit of some of the newer folks. We came out of convention with a 4-week series on Monday evenings called Millionaire Mondays, where I talked about the emotional and the psychological way that you build this business and kind of some of the things that hold us back. And by the way, the replay of those events is available on our resources page in the Agents of Change team website. Someone will put that in the chat for you. It's called Millionaire Mondays. We did that 4 Mondays. We talked about coming out of convention, how to best set your sights on the rest of the year coming out of convention last April. Then starting in May, we started doing these Monday night events. So we've been growing this, and it was originally intended to be a 13-week series. And the reality is that I did some asking around, and I took kind of an impartial survey or a casual survey of all of you, and folks would like to continue this on. So we're going to continue Monday nights because Monday nights are working. So since it's working, and since it's not going to be a temporary 13-week process anymore, because this would have been really the last 3 weeks of that 13-week run, what we've done is we've decided to invest in an email system so that we can better communicate with all of these new folks that are joining the business and all of you, and remind people about the events like this Monday evening. So starting today, this new email list is up. Some of you have already subscribed. Some of you have already shared it with your team, but it's free for everyone. All you have to do is register or subscribe to the email list. The link is on the Agents of Change team website. It's also, I believe that we've got, if somebody wants to put that in the chat for those that are here live, you can simply just join in, just join the list. I'm going to send the first email blast out today at 3:00 p.m. Eastern, which will let people know, it'll inform folks about Monday's event. So then you're not going to get bombarded with emails because, quite frankly, it costs money every single time I push send. And as the list grows, it's going to cost more and more. So it's not going to be a thing where you're getting 10 emails a day and nobody in your team is going to get that either. But it is going to help people get into the habit of being with us for these events. So I want to make sure you do that. Again, that's on the Agents of Change team website as well. I'm just looking at my list here. That's going to go out at 3:00 p.m. Eastern today. So please sign yourself up, sign your team members up beforehand. They can easily opt out. So, the ideal thing would be to have them register. And if you've built a team at all, you know that people drag their feet on everything. So the second best thing is you just sign them up yourself. They can always unsubscribe if they're unhappy with it. And then the last thing I want to talk about before I turn it over to all of you is Super Saturday for Northern New England this Saturday has been moved to virtual only. So it started out, some of you have heard these announcements, that the event that I do here in the region, it was going to be hybrid. It was going to be in person at an event center, at a training center, plus I was going to Zoom it out. Well, the reality is there's people that are already on their way to Puerto Vallarta for the trip, some of the leaders. There's people that are involved in family vacations, and there's a lot of folks that just flat out couldn't be there in person. And as I started to get a sense here locally of who was really going to show up in the room, it really didn't make sense to have the room. So I canceled the in-person part of the event. And what we're going to do is we're going to do it virtually, which means we're going to do it for the whole country. Anybody that wants to join us this Saturday from noon to 2 p.m. Eastern and I'm going to give you the link to register here in a second. You do need to register for this. You can't just go to our regular team Zoom because that's not the link. We need to know because I have to report to the home office who attended. So I need that data. So you go to Eventbrite, and the way you get there is 2023supersaturday.com. And I'll say that again, someone will put it in the chat, 2023supersaturday.com. And you're welcome to join us. You're welcome to bring your whole team. It's a Super Saturday like you've been to in person. There'll be a business overview portion first, and then there's going to be a training. And I'm really excited about this training. I'm going to go for over an hour plus breaking down why this business works for people that are doing it part-time and spare time, not just for people that are doing it full-time as a career. Because quite frankly, the people you want in your business with you are the busiest people you know, and they often can't see why this would work for them. So I'm going to break it way down, like all the way down. And I think that this is the best way to do this topic, right? Because we're not asking somebody to come to an event and set aside their Saturday to do it. From any device, their phone, their iPad, their computer, from any device, they can join in this Super Saturday event where I'm going to drill down into how they can win in this business. Some of those people want to make an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month. Maybe they just want to pay their mortgage or refill their retirement account. Some of those people want to make a six-figure income. I'm going to talk to everyone across the spectrum, regardless of their goals, on how they can do it by building a highly duplicatable business, by honoring and protecting the system and the way it works. So I'm going to do that on Saturday. I'm super pumped to be doing that with you. There's some facelift things that are going to happen here in the Zoom room at my house to make sure that it looks great, and it will look great. It's going to be a lot of fun. So those are my announcements. I don't have anything else on my screen. So I'm going to start by going out to folks that had events this past weekend, and you can raise your hand if you did. But Venus Powers, I don't know if you're somewhere where you can talk or not, but I know you had an event this past weekend. And we would love to hear about your in-person Super Saturday. Anything else you'd like to share about the impact that people have when they get together?
Sure. We actually did carpooling. So the culture of Legal Shield has always been to like get together in a group or go pick up people. I do this every week for my weekly meeting. I go pick up, some of our team people who cannot drive at night, or who, it doesn't make sense for them to drive. And so that's what we do. But this Saturday, we decided that a couple of us from Central South Carolina were going to carpool, and we picked up along the way going up there. And we had a unique event because it's summer, and sometimes you want to have your local leadership do the presentation instead of having someone come in. And we did kind of a boot camp type orientation from Corey Muhammad. And Corey Muhammad's been in the organization for more than 20 years, and he's a Millionaire Club member, $300,000 ring earner, super smart in the organization and super smart about Legal Shield and the process, the recruiting process. And he took us back to his first days of when he learned the best system and the system for running this business. And he literally took out a notebook and walked around the room. It was a binder of every person that he called, when he called them, how many times he called them. Did they become a member? Did they become an associate? Did they fast start qualify? And then as they moved forward in his organization, he checked off every month when they were Performance Club qualified. And he stayed in touch with them. And, did they schedule three-way Zooms? Were they staying on track with their business? Who was their connections? And so you recruit someone, and then you want to learn who their connections are so that you can recruit them for them, so that you can build your team's team. And he really broke that down for us. And then we went through, the different aspects of our organization about the importance of retention, the importance of Performance Club, and what that means to you and your business, not just for the trips, but for staying on track. If Performance Club becomes like your baseline of this is what I need to do every month, not what I have to do, what I need to do, then, your business will stay on track because you're disciplined, you're staying disciplined. And, we talk about the 2 exposures every day, but, we really drill down into the fact that those 2 exposures should lead to a presentation. You should be not just letting them see a video, but you should be getting in front of them face to face at a coffee shop, bringing them to an event, getting them to a Super Saturday, having them become, not just your friend, but part of your family, part of your team family, so that, their success, it's a personal commitment more than it is just a business commitment, or, hey, let me try this out for a couple of weeks and see how it goes. And, then if I don't like it, I'm going to quit. You get them involved as a person, like me and some of my team members, we're talking about getting together to drive to Tennessee. So, when you have that kind of camaraderie, your team really does grow. And Corey just really brought his heart out to us this Saturday, unlike I've ever seen from him. And it really meant a lot to the people in the room. So sometimes you just have to get down to the nuts and bolts with your region.
Venus, thanks so much. I'm glad you were there to take it all in and to try to deliver it back. And I think Venus would agree that it's impossible to bring all of that emotion and information and the context of the content back. And that's why it's so important. That's why we work so hard every month to get folks into these events in their local marketplace. And I just think about this, as we move through the rest of this year into the spring of next year, we're going to start talking more and more about the international convention in Oklahoma City. And frankly, as leaders, I just want to talk to you as leaders and let you know that if it's a challenge to get your new associates to go to an event 90 minutes, 2 hours from their house to go to a Super Saturday event, if that is not happening, then the likelihood that they're going to fly halfway across the country or all the way across the country or from one country to another country and come to Oklahoma City, it's not as likely, right? So there's these incremental commitments that people make, and it's things like virtual meetings that get people to come to in-person meetings, and in-person meetings that get people to go to the Super Saturday, and Super Saturday that get people locked in and sold on something like the big event in Oklahoma City. And I promise you this, the more people you have in Oklahoma City at our international convention, the bigger your business will grow. It just works that way. And I'll be excited to see how many people you all have with you in Oklahoma City, because it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be a blast. But the work we do week to week and month to month now is what determines who's going to be there with us then. So I see Tammy Martin, you're here. Michael Robideau, any of you that would like to, yeah, Michael, go ahead. Did you have an event this weekend, or is there something you'd like to share?
No, I'm sorry. I was just waving. I didn't have an event that I went to this weekend. So,
well, listen,
thanks, Jim.
You've got you're a seasoned associate with us. Mike is in Connecticut, for those of you that don't know. He was there alongside me taking tons of notes from Darnell Self last month in Hartford, Connecticut. And we would love to know anything that you think is helpful to the group as we're moving through summer. This is not your first summer. It's not your first rodeo. And you've got a great story. So anything you'd like to share would be great.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. Yeah. So with Darnell Self, the biggest takeaway that I got from that weekend, I mean, this guy made more money than everybody but one other person in Legal Shield. And he kept talking about how he sold 1,000 memberships, which sounds like a big number. But if you take and divide that 1,000 memberships by the number of years he's been in this business, okay, it works to 3 a month. 3 or 4 a month. I'm not sure which. And that's Performance Club, everybody. And he's been doing that consistently since he joined the business. Now he's $1 million ring earner. And I think that was the biggest takeaway, other than you've got to go and spend time with these people, spend time with these ring earners. And I just want to, thank Mr. Tanner for a minute, because on the Super Saturday that he hosted here in Connecticut, or he was a spotlight here in Connecticut, we did a Q&A session the Friday before, and the nuggets that Jim was dropping at this Q&A session was just pure gold. And you can't get that on a replay. You can't feel that excitement on a replay. You've got to get there in person. So that's what I've got, Jim. I'll pass it back to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike. And also for those of you, I've posted this before, but in August, I'll be in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. In September, I'll be in Portland, Oregon, and Seattle, Washington. In October, I'll be in Atlanta, and probably there will be other things that pop up on the calendar as well. So I'm coming around still, and I'm excited to see everybody. I see Sonora Danzo has her hand raised, but I've lost you on the grid, Sonora. So feel free to unmute. There you go. Okay.
Hey, everyone. Great morning. So as we just heard a little bit of information in regards to Mr. Self coming out to one of the local areas there, I just wanted to also put on your radar that Tracy and Darnell will actually be out in the Colorado market area. It is part of their tour, and they're doing the Self-Talk Experience live here in Colorado. It's going to be on Saturday, the 29th, but not only as associates that you can also come, make sure that you register, but guess what? You can actually tell your guests to come on out, and why not get an opportunity to hear the information from one of the top earners that's in Legal Shield. And they're going to actually do their Zoom that it's not a Zoom, it's an actual webcast They're actually going to do it live here in Colorado. So yes, you can actually send out your guests. I'm going to be there. Let me know your guest is coming. I'm going to take care of them. I'm actually the person that greets them, checks them in and everything at the table. So you just send me their name, send them my name, send them my phone number so they can stay in communications with me. I'm definitely going to take care of them and definitely make sure that they get back to you to get set and register. So just so that you know, when our guests come out to our Super Saturdays, they do get signed up. So I am happy to be out here and have the red carpet out for any of your guests located anywhere in the United States. So send them out, and that is on this Saturday, not this Saturday, I'm sorry. It's on Saturday, the 29th of July. It's going to be their live self-talk experience. I did put the information in the chat where you can register your guests. And then, like I said, give them my phone number and I'll be more than happy to roll that red carpet out and definitely take care of them. You know, I'm going to take care of them for you guys. Back to you, Jim. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Sonora, very much. That's the 29th. Get your folks out to that. As a matter of fact, get them out now in the weekly events. Get them out to everything that's going on in Colorado now so that they can bring their guests. They'll already be associates by the 29th. They can be bringing their guests too, as we call that 3D chess. Connie Aya, you're up. I see you got your hand raised. Go ahead.
I just want to stress that I love leaders like Mr. Placci. So, Michael, I don't know why you weren't in person, but I would have loved to have been in that room with Mr. Carlos Brown this weekend. And here's what I love about leaders who are still live is best. You can't get that energy. You can't get that back. But here's what I love about having virtual events that Mr. Placci does is I had my team. So my daughter's in Tennessee, her recruits in Kansas. I can plug those in there and we're doing virtual together. And the cool thing about that afterwards is that then we circle up and we talk about what they got from it and how I can help them and what do they need. So it's really cool to look on the calendar and see if you can't get to a live event or if your team isn't, is there a virtual one as well that you can plug into and kind of do that as a game plan? So it was really, he was amazing. It was like a mix of, he's so funny, like a little bit of Cliff Malloy, a little bit of Kevin Calise. He had me cracking up the whole time. But that's what I encourage you. Like, don't just not look at your own market, but how can you where your teams are at, if there's virtual things happening, how can you do that with them? And then that's a great way to just build off that and what they need and getting together. But yeah, I'm definitely going to continue. I love Mr. Palacci's. His briefings are on Tuesdays at 7:15, and then afterwards he does training. And I would encourage you to plug people into that market, but also get on that Tuesday nights if you don't have anything else that you're doing or a local one.
Fantastic. Thank you, Connie. And let's
Sorry
see.
to throw you under the bus, Michael, but I was like, you weren't in person. I couldn't drive 4 hours this weekend, but that was a good event. We're blessed.
It's great. You know, I think we're rapidly finding our way to the balance of virtual plus in person, and we're still twisting the dial, but it's coming along nicely. And I don't know about you, but this is our first post global pandemic business building year. So for me, this is all new territory, but I think it's going pretty good. Tammy Martin, I know that I didn't ask you to prepare anything, but man, I want to hear from you. So say something. Just tell everybody how cool I am if you got nothing else.
Well, I'm never at a loss for words, Jim. Well, I'm just excited this morning, and I'm excited because it's a decision. Everything is a decision, and the best thing that I love about our Legal Shield team is I have worked in corporate America. I worked for Chase before Mary Kay. Then I was in Mary Kay 14 years. Y'all know that. But I have never, ever been surrounded with authentic people that really care about me, my business, and we care about each other. And that to me is something money can't buy. Like, we're all in it for the money, for heaven's sake, we got to make a living. But having that personal relationship with this team is a gift. And I just can't express that enough. That's one of the the main things with gratitude that I have, because I know, and I've expressed to several on the Zoom, that if it had not been for them, I'd have quit. I'd have flat quit, because, and it wasn't because I didn't think I could do it. It's because when people do not feel a part of something, when they don't feel like they have support, whether it is that you just need to vent, because we are all human and we all get frustrated, and we have people that we have to deal with, and sometimes they aren't pleasant, and they're not giving you what you need or want to hear, or they're not going along with the agenda that you think they need to be going along with, and you're having to realign yourself, or with them or whatever, and it gets frustrating. It gets frustrating. But my philosophy is, and this is Tammy speaking, I have always been taught to reach up. You don't reach out when you're needing that leadership help, because those are people that are on the same level as you, that may be dealing with the same problems, and they don't really know how to help you. But when you deal with people that have been in it longer, have experience, that can really say, hey, this is what happened to me, this is how I handled it, blah, 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 that's who you need. I'm not saying that you don't need people that are with you, like running with you. You definitely do. Because that's where, you have your power partners, right? I have several. I know John Fehrenbach, he hates to hear from me every day, but sometimes, I just kind of say, hey, what is this? How do I work this? But he has been such a blessing. Venus, Jim, so many others have helped me, but reaching up it was key for me. And I learned that a long time ago. You never reach down, because those are your naysayers. And you definitely don't need them in your life. You have them. Lord help us. We have them, because, you have people, oh, I can't do this. And you just want to say, stop crying. Just do it. We all have been in the ditch, with chargebacks, with this, with that. We've all been there, but it depends on when you're in that place. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to cry about it? Or are you going to get out and be stronger? So, that's kind of where I'm at today. Like, I'm just so thankful for this business. I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful for Jim's leadership and the friends that I've made, even though I haven't met anybody in person, I don't think, except for Venus. She's the only one that I've met in person. And, but I'm excited to have an opportunity to hopefully meet y'all one day in person. And it's just amazing. And so, I just say, keep going. We're in it together. We're in it to win it. So that's what I got, Jim.
All right, thank you very much. So we're coming to the conclusion of our 30 minutes. So I just want to end by talking again about what matters the most right now for your team, because we've got all these new associates, right? We recruited, and I know not everybody is in the organization, that we're just kind of all together as a family, but just from what I can see in my own organization numbers, recruiting was massive in the month of June. And so, and it's on trend to probably do that again. And so plus everybody whose numbers I don't know, I'm telling you right now, you have a lot of new people, and they would, even if they don't know the question they should be asking, some of them do, but even if they don't, the question is, what is the most important thing? And I just want to say this, because this is a leadership group. What happens is we have as a company for the last year plus or so over communicated fast start qualification. It is important. There's no question. Listen, I get $400 every time somebody anywhere in my team fast start qualifies. It's important to me and it matters. But we have over communicated fast start qualification and under communicated performance club. And the problem with that is you can only fast start qualify once. And if you fail to do it, you feel like a failure if it's over communicated to the degree it has been. But Performance Club is a monthly thing that's going to set up your business forever. So while the company is talking to people about fast start qualifying, and you should be there championing that cause, remind them how getting fast start qualified or whatever, in the calendar month is also going to get them their first month of Performance Club. Make sure Performance Club is part of every conversation, because no one in your team right now is going to, I hate to say it in the negative way. There's a better way to say this, but I don't have it. I'm not good at everything. Here's the real confrontation we're in. No one in your team is going to Jamaica next year if they don't Performance Club qualify in July. So that's a challenge and an opportunity. The challenge is that's a lot of people that if they, I just want to make sure you hear this. That's a lot of people that we can't talk to anymore in August about Jamaica because they can't hear it and it just make them mad or sad or whatever. So we can't talk next month at all the way we're talking right now, because all of a sudden we can't talk to everybody about it. So let's get the biggest possible group of people in your team in Performance Club this month so that we have that group to talk to next month. Because unfortunately, it is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and you will have percentages drip off between now and Jamaica. And all they have to do is stay in Performance Club. And I'm telling you, as I've said multiple times, the 15 recruits will come, the Fast Start qualifiers will come, the retention will come. It's a long process. And I know there was a big, again, so we're out of time, but I just want to talk to, I need you to know what I think, okay? And then you can think whatever you want, but I want you to know what I think. I'm excited about the team thing enough, like, but that's not going to drive your business. You know, some of you are in teams, some of you are not in teams for the team challenge. If you're in a team challenge, make it fun and participate, but that's not going to drive your business the way this 7 months of Performance Club qualifiers in your team will drive your business, right? That's what's going to set up your ED business, your $100,000 a year business, your journey to the Millionaires Club. It's not going to come from a 2-month sprint to lock in a trip, and then you don't have to worry about the trip, and none of the people in that team have to worry about the trip because you're going, and that's great. We're going to celebrate that. But what I love about the real incentive plan, which is July through February. Did I do that right? It's February, right? July through February. I think I got that. Performance Club every month. That is going to set your business up for the next 10 years. That's huge. So if you're in the team thing, great. You know, rock on, win, by the way, just win it. But it's kind of like when I talk to you all about, if you did 20 exposures today, don't tell anybody. It's the same problem, right? Because you just kill all time spare time people because they were telling them to do 2, and then you said you did 20, and all of a sudden 2 doesn't sound like enough. And it's the same thing with why we don't rank people by their Performance Club points, because Performance Club is a thing. Like, you're in it or you're out of it. And really, I get uncomfortable when I hear people talk about the rollover, because I know that it makes sense to train on that. And I know that us as leaders live on that because we don't want the pressure. But the new person can't handle that. All they can handle is, am I in Performance Club or not? That's what they can handle. I know it doesn't sound like it. You say to yourself, yeah, but this person's 30, they're 40, they're 50, they're 60, they're 70. Listen, you want the point of view of someone that's been doing this for 20 years. It doesn't matter how old somebody is. It doesn't matter how smart somebody is. In this business, you have to spoon feed them everything. And when we start speaking faster or broadening the concepts to people that haven't yet done the small steps, they never get to the bigger stuff anyway. So we talk about the bigger stuff and we kill them. And that's not from me. That's from Jeff Olson, Power Training, which, by the way, if you haven't listened to it recently, we kind of got off the discipline of that, right? That was something we were doing together. You know, that's why we're not doing a book of the month in Agents of Change. We're not doing. I just want you to get the fundamentals of Power Training by Jeff Olson. So I know I'm over time. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you tonight. Hey, let me put my promoter hat back on. Tonight's the night. John Fehrenbach, Jim Tanner, the greatest tag team ever assembled in July, comes together, and we're going to knock it out of the park. All you got to do is bring your people, and the Velvet Fog, John Fehrenbach, is going to tell them about Legal Shield and ID Shield. He's going to give them that smooth jazz about our company and our 51 years in business. Then I'm going to come in and I'm going to talk about the money and the legacy and the transformational nature of the opportunity in the business. And then we're going to dare people to not sign up at the end of that, because they're just going to say, take my money, I'm in. Those are going to be your guests turning into your associates this evening. So here we go, 9:00 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking for testimonials. Please reach out to me directly. I understand that there was a little snafu on the signing up for the emails, but keep trying. Get your team signed up for emails. And I'm going to send that out at 3:00 p.m. Eastern, our first one. And you'll tell me I spelled 3 things wrong, but hopefully that doesn't happen. And I'll see you all tonight, 9:00 p.m. Eastern with John Fehrenbach. Good day, everybody.